some simple moments of my life in the beautiful nature that is here in Southern California. Being up on top of these mountains always reminds me of how big the world is and how small I am. And I think that's the most refreshing thing because it takes all of the pressure off of everything when I realize that I'm such a small piece of this earth and I get the opportunity to experience being alive. And I get to have fun with it. And the pressure is gone because I'm in this great big world. And just being alive, it is enough. It's always a beautiful reminder to come up here. I remember when I first moved to LA, I had no idea that the mountains would be like this. Like, I always love whenever I go up to a tall place and I can see the rolling mountains for miles and miles and miles, like rolling mountains that never end. And it just feels like they go on forever, and it always makes me feel so safe knowing that everything in my life is not the only option. And I don't know how to put it, but it's like there's such a world out there that I get to explore, and everything I do is a choice. Everything I'm doing right now is a choice, and I get to have fun with it. And if I wanted to, I could just pick up and go to the next mountain or the next mountain. Yeah, there's just so much to explore, and every time I come up to the top of any of these mountains, I'm like, there's so much to explore. I'm so grateful. It's a special place up here. So special. Like, California is such a special place. I really, really love it. I have a new thing that I've been doing, which is painting journals for myself whenever I finish one that reflect like the chapter of life that I feel like I'm on. I started doing that as gifts for people now, so I'm excited. This is a gift, and I'm just finishing up painting it right now. But it's basically a sailboat, and then it'll have a little title here, but I'm actually going to visit where I'm from on Tuesday. In 2 days. I haven't been there in 2 years and I'm kind of nervous, but I'm here taking in the nature and enjoying it. And anytime there is any sort of resistance in my life, I feel like it's the ultimate opportunity to go into that and figure out where that comes from and how I can move past it and heal it. And every situation will be different, but I feel like with this, just putting myself in the shoes of who I used to be and showing up as who I am now is the ultimate opportunity of claiming the emptiness or claiming the mindfulness in order to grow every step of the way. Whatever has resistance is something that needs to be healed and moved past. And I think where I grew up, I have a huge resistance to. Although actually it's faded a lot over the past 2 years, but I think because it's faded, now going there will be the ultimate opportunity to like move past it. And because I just moved here and dropped all of it behind, and it was perfect because it helped me to grow into who I am right now. But now I get to show up in that environment as who I am now, not trying to be anything, but just allowing myself to be. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I should definitely get back into painting this because I'm close, but there's more to do and the paint is definitely drying. So I'm gonna get back into painting this. I'm just nestled in the rocks of the mountains. And it's kind of unreal being here, even though like I I come to these places so often. Sometimes it takes a moment for me to realize like I'm sitting in the mountains and it's so special. It's so interesting bringing a camera with me now more often to things that I do and places I go. Not all the time, but often. I feel like sometimes there's this like innate pull to like see something beautiful and then be like, oh, I need to take a video of it or I need to take a photo of it. And it's kind of the way I used to feel when I had Instagram on my phone and I would post on my story. Every time something cool would happen, I would have an urge to take a video of it for the sole purpose of sharing it on Instagram. And bringing a camera with me is a new exercise of like filming when I feel inspired to film, but I bring a camera so that when I feel inspired, it comes through me instead of me pushing it. I find myself in the middle of that sometimes, and whenever I do, it's just important to remind myself that I don't want to create anything to make myself feel inspired. I want to create from a place of inspiration, from a place of like appreciating nature and the earth so much that it makes me want to create. Sometimes there isn't much to say, and sometimes, a lot of the times, the sky and the mountains and the birds say so much more than I could, and I think I just woke a bird up. Or a bird just woke me up. Anyways, life is so special, and I'm really in the balance of learning how to be able to balance sharing it and feeling it. And sharing it from a place of feeling it as opposed to sharing it from a place of wanting to feel it. I'm sitting here and I'm realizing that all of my little human thoughts and all of my little human worries and trying to find the balance is so small in comparison to how beautiful these mountains are and how vast the earth is and how much it provides, and the fact that we just live in an ecosystem that feeds us and nourishes us and feels good. Like the sun feels good on my skin. It feels good to jump in the ocean. It feels good to listen to the birds. Not only do we live in an environment that sustains us, we live in an environment that causes us to thrive. The natural earth is an environment that fills us with joy. And I'm saying us, I guess I can only speak for myself, but I would think that when humans are able to let go of their human worries and their human selves, which is not always an easy thing, and sink into the beauty of what this earth is, I think that is where the thriving begins. And I think when I allow myself to let go of my human worries and my desire to create or my desire to do something big, I think that is where the magic is found. That is where the beauty is found in life. Where the human desire to create fades away and is replaced by an innate inspiration that is so large and so inspired and so in awe of this earth that it pours out of me without me even trying. And that is like the beautiful space that I want to create from always. I think creating will be a small part of my everyday life. It is a small part. A 10-minute video is a small part of my life, but it's a reflection, or it should be a reflection, of all of the other moments. In the sense where the moments where I'm sitting and looking at the mountains, or looking out my window, or listening to the birds, all of those moments that I allow myself to be still, or even when I'm doing work and I allow myself to enjoy the work and take breaks and meditate and nourish myself, all of those are the biggest moments of my life, and they're the moments that make me feel the best. And from those moments, the bird again, wow. And from those moments, and from these moments, I will let a cup that is already full overflow, but I will not pour from a cup that is not full. And so that is what I'm learning. And so, yeah, there's no conclusion to this. It's an everyday process. Yeah, it's an everyday process. But I'm learning, and these mountains are teaching me. They're so much bigger than me, and they've been here for so much longer than me. My reflections of them are so much smaller than the infinite wisdom that they hold. I'm such a student of them. Yeah, we're so small. When I let Chelsea fade away and get a little bit quieter, I get to hear the richness of what already is. Even when there is noise, even when the birds are singing, within the stillness of the air, without me having to think about it, there is this richness of life. This depth of life, this beauty of life, and it is such a gift. And I always want to remember it, and I always want to come back to this, and it's so important. It's the most important thing. So yes, I'm gonna sit here and watch the sunset and then head home and eat a delicious meal. But yeah, just remember that real life is so much bigger than the ones we see on the screen. Live your life to the fullest and reflect on it and be there for it and soak it in. And there is nothing more beautiful than the realness of life, and no computer, no video, no screen, no picture can match it or even try to. So yeah, thank you for listening. Yeah, just listen to nature. She knows what she's doing. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you're doing well and taking care of yourself, and hope that you just get to soak in the realness of what your life is, the fullness of nature, of wherever you are, and letting go of the need to create, the need to do, and doing all of that from a place of inspiration and from a place of joy, because that is just so important. So thank you so much for listening. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day today.